YouTube, I've attempted to record this video so many different times and the baby keeps waking up, so let's try it again. Anyway, so this video is basically going to be my experience working for a temp agency. Yeah, I wrote a few things down because I gotta remember things. Anyway, so a while back, I had I had gotten my bachelor's degree and basically had trouble finding work. And then I basically changed and tried to get into the healthcare field. So with that, I went and got my medical assisting certificate. Oh, let me turn this volume down. Yeah, so basically I was equipped with education but no experience. Then I posted my frustration with just trying to find work and really no luck, and people suggested try a temp agency, which I did. So I basically went online and applied to different agencies, and one called me right away. And the first thing they asked me for was a social. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, wait a minute. So basically this video, I did have experience to put on my resume, which is awesome. It's great. Now that I try to, when I go back to work, it's going to be nice to look for. I mean, when I go back after dealing with the baby and everything, it's going to be great to put on my resume. And I've been getting some calls now, even before. So that's one good benefit of an agency. And if you are looking for work, especially like if you're a mom, for example, or if you're a college student, on the other hand, it's not a big deal. You could wait a little longer. But if you need money right away, kind of thing, they're really useful in that way because they can place you maybe in a couple months and you're able to support yourself for a little bit, because the pay is usually is a little bit higher than what they would pay you somewhere else, but it's also low for what other company might actually pay you. So it's like it's a win-win in a way, but it's really not. So yeah, my experience, I would say, overall was not too bad, but I ended up leaving the agency that I was with because I just had a frustration. So I wrote things down that I generally don't really like about agencies. One of the first things I read is that agencies tend to take your social security right away because they just want to place you in the system, almost like a head count. They just want to see how many people they can put in to the system. So just because they call you, get your social, does not mean they're going to give you work. Sometimes it's just for them to just keep you in there. So with that situation, I know that because I ended up training with some people and they were never placed anywhere. And I called them, like text them like, hey, did you get placed? Where are you working now? And most of them were like, no, I went with somewhere else because I was not placed. So that's something that can be really frustrating. Um, for me, like basically, I was working one hospital, which is an awesome hospital. I kept being placed in a lot of assignments, but never really got hired permanently anywhere. So it's frustrating because I put my heart, because I really enjoyed what I was doing and I was hoping that at some point it would lead to something. But basically, time just passed. After 2 years, I was just in different assignments and I was like, okay, when am I going to get a chance to really be somewhere? And one of the reasons why I was never really hired permanent is because a lot of these places that I was being placed were a lot of the skill set that they wanted was something I really did not have. I was kind of like a newbie, like learning everything from scratch. So with hospitals, the patients that people don't have a lot of patience for you to be learning everything because they have patients constantly coming in. Basically, I was doing like a medical assisting thing where I was doing paperwork and all that stuff on computers and all that. So with that, they need people that are already like skilled, and the training that we had was limited. I don't think that's enough for you to cover anything. So when I was with the coworkers there, a lot of them, the first assignment that I ever got was awesome. They helped me out a lot, so much, guiding me step by step. The other assignments, on the other hand, a lot of the people, they were not really willing to help me as much. So it was like you're kind of making mistakes, and really you can't really ask anybody because people are kind of like, we're busy, because hospitals are busy. We have patients coming in every day and they don't have time to really be sitting there telling you every little thing. You have to learn on your own. But at the same time too, there's so many information that you need to know, because if you make mistakes, these are the patients' lives, like, or patients' files. You can't make mistakes. So it was kind of like a tough thing because you don't have people that are really, really willing to help. If you do find one person, they're also busy. They have a million things to do. So it became just a pattern. Like everywhere I would end up, I loved what I was doing, but I would not have as much guidance. It's like I was kind of left there. And I complained to the agency about this, and they kind of said, just suck it up. I had complaints constantly, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and they really did not really look much into it. So I just basically suck it up, and I was trying my best to do everything I can. So that's one thing that agencies do that I don't like, is they place you in places sometimes that you're not qualified for at all. Like, you get experience, but you're really learning everything new. So it's like you're being placed, like, okay, I'm just being dramatic here, but it's like you come from high school and you're going to be placed to be in a CEO position. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, what do I do now? And then you end up saying, this is not going to work out. I need something else that I can actually do. So that's what ended up with happening with me. Like, I just already got training, but at the same time, every department was so different and they had different rules. So it was like I was constantly like learning everything all over again in a different place. So that frustrated me. So yeah, another thing is they don't guarantee that you're gonna get placed anywhere just because you get your social and they train you. Sometimes they train you and you're gonna be waiting for nothing and they'll never call. And sometimes you wait and wait forever. Like some lady that told me she ended up just leaving because they never called her for anything. So that happens. Another thing that I had issues with is bad communication. I had sometimes, the people that work there calling me like late at night, oh, did can you come in tomorrow? We got something for you. Or I get an email saying that I have this position open and really wasn't there, or the position was there, but I went there and there was nobody really to meet with that can discuss what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it was just this bad communication. Like, they'll tell you, oh, you needed to get this done, like this paperwork that needs to be turned in, but really it wasn't needed, and I ended up wasting time. Or different people basically asking me the same question a million times. Oh, did you get your flu shot? Did you get your flu shot? But the flu shot was I already told one person, I already sent it in. So it was like, okay, who do I talk to about what? And it was really nobody really sometimes that you can really directly talk to. And that frustrated me. Another thing, is like playing favorites. I feel like some people that I was with were hired more because, well, that was their favorites. Like, they got the positions easily after being in a place for a while, and they actually got what they wanted more than some of us who were just placed anywhere that they was open, and they didn't care about you what you told them you wanted. It was kind of like, okay, well, we got a job for you, you're gonna get money, and that's pretty much it. So as far as your well-being, or what's going on with you, they don't care so much. As long as you're in the system, they're getting their commission or whatever the amount they're getting. Sometimes they don't care. You can be complaining that things are going down, like things are happening, and they're not too concerned. So that's really frustrating, because I had several complaints about what was going on with the company, the departments I was working in, and I needed to be changed, and they would move me, and it was never got better. So it was like, okay, I'm wasting time. I'm not going anywhere, and that's why I'm basically not working right now, because I left the one I was with. So agencies do allow you to work, which is great. You make money and you have something to put on your resume, especially if you have a gap, too, that is like, whoa, nothing going on. It's awesome. But as far as me, just what I went through it, I definitely need to find, maybe there's a better temp agency out there that might help me a little bit more than this one. And I just want to warn you guys that be wary of them, because sometimes when it comes to it, you realize, wow, okay, they're really not they're not looking out for you. Some people, there's some other ones out there that are really great and they're really looking out for you and they want to help you get somewhere. Like people, because I know my sister, for example, she worked in a company for a long time. They got her a nice job. I know another lady that works at a great company now because through them. So it does happen, but it's like it takes time to find a good one, because and the pay sometimes is more in some other areas than others. So you have to keep that in mind as you're looking. Nothing is guaranteed, just like in life, but sometimes they do promise and train you for things that you're never going to really do. It's nothing worse than showing up somewhere and you're like, you're being trained, or the manager's like, oh, this is what you're going to be doing, and you're looking like, I don't know how to do that. Like, what? That's what I ended up doing. And a lot of times I just was so frustrated going to work because I didn't know what I was doing, and nobody really could help because they didn't really have the time, or some people just really had bad attitude. So I ended up being on my own most of the time, just going home and being frustrated, pulling my hair out and complaining to my mom like, oh my God, I had a long day, this is what. And when I did find a place that I liked, either there was no opening, or if they did have an opening, it was for something else that I really, like, for example, a nursing position. I couldn't do a nursing because I didn't have the qualifications for that. So it was just up and down for me with the temp agency. And I know out there that I've watched several YouTube videos that are saying that they're basically, sometimes they're kind of like scams, because they promise a lot of stuff sometimes that are not guaranteed at all. And that can be an issue for a lot of people. If you need work, they can definitely get you something. But as far as like a good thing, I don't know about that. So yeah, and it got, I just was really miserable and I left, basically before I got pregnant. So it was kind of like things worked out. I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother looking for a job right now because I was so pregnant. I just could not, so I want to say, yeah, just because you have education and all that does not guarantee that an agency is going to place you. It's not really, they're not concerned about that too much. They just want to see if you're able to do the job and show up. That's really the main thing, show up. So um, I just was like fed up with the agency that I was with, and it led me to do this video. So you guys just be careful out there. Don't just have your eyes open, and just be more aggressive. Like if you need something, tell them that this is what I need. If it's not, I'm going to be leaving. Like tell them that they might actually find you something. Because me, I was more relaxed a little bit. I didn't really, go in like, okay, this is what I want. I'm gonna have this position. You gotta give me that. I was more like, let me see how this works out. Let's see what they do, and then how what happens next. Then I'll decide from there. But I just kept waiting, and I was too patient, I think, with them. Where if I did get really aggressive, I might have gone in somewhere else. At least a different department, because obviously they were placing maybe favorites in certain departments that whatever they wanted. I know a lady that got a department that she wanted, and I kept being placed in places that I just really could not deal. Like I could not. I tried learning everything, and I felt like you were just on your own. Like nobody was really trying to help. So it's tough, especially if you're looking for work. Like if you don't care what kind of work you want, and you just are like, whatever, okay, go for it. But if you know exactly where you want to get to in life, like this is okay, for example, I want to do administration and I want to be in the healthcare field and this and that, then that's one thing. But most of the time it's really, really tough. And right now a lot of people want work. People are not picky and they'll take whatever. So it's like, there's competition already. And if you have places, the agencies are kind of taking advantage of that. And, sometimes they just put a bunch of people on the system and promising them stuff that they know for sure is not going to be there. So right now I'm different. My eyes are open. And when I go out there, it's going to be a different situation because, it's like, this is how it's going to be. You know what I mean? Because I just dealt with a lot for a couple years and I shouldn't have really, because I mean, it's like how long, Anyway, so just wanted to share that with you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.